Shalom, Shalom. This Yair from GMS Savannah coming with another lesson. But first and foremost, we want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakak, Radash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, which rule well and teach well, and to the Akim, pushing this 100% truth and sincerity, four corners of the earth, while risking life and freedom to do so. And salutation to you, Hope for Leka, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled bird scattered amongst the heathens, which your father seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson I'm going into is, we in some end days here, and our people got to understand that we are still under these damn curses, man. You know, they still upon us. And like I say, we know that Babylon the Great is circling the drain. But like this brother here was saying, you know, the racism is still alive. And we're going to watch a little clip of it, then we're going to do some scriptures on it.
An unfortunate incident happened here at my restaurant. I'm Chef Brian's Comfort Kitchen at 804 South 6th Avenue. This is for black people especially. If you own a business, okay, it's a very unfortunate and racist incident that just happened to me this morning at 8:15 a.m. this morning, okay? So I have a restaurant with a small parking lot, okay? So that means it's private, right? Well, because of the times and the climate, and I am not referring to the weather, I have to do shit like this. I have to make signs and then post signs in the front of my restaurant to tell these fucking January 6ers, don't park in a private fucking parking lot if you're going 6 blocks away. You see my big, beautiful sign? I have no sign on my restaurant, okay? I'll never have a sign. I have an address. But moving on, I pull in to unload about 150 pounds worth of provisions this morning at 8:15 a.m. Now I'm running late. I open at 8. There's a car here in the parking lot, but he's blocking half the actual entrance. I just look at him. He moves. I then pull in. I start to unload, and I say to him, there's an entire sign that says, do not come in here unless you're a customer. Do not park here. Do not make U-turns here. He waved his hand at me like this. And then he said, F you. And then he used the N-word. I hate to belabor the obvious. He wasn't black. I'm going to say it one more time. He used the N-word to me. Now, I want you to understand something. I cook at 350 degrees. I'm referring to my deep frying oil. I intend to use it if anyone ever comes into my restaurant. I can't even talk right now because I'm hot, but I'm trying to be calm, okay? If they come into my restaurant with any tomfoolery, they're going to catch it. They're going to wear that deep frying oil. They're going to call themselves Leatherface. And I mean it with a purple passion. Black folks, protect yourself. Get ready mentally for this shit. It's coming. I'm telling you right now, it's coming. If you own a business, I don't care if it's a flower shop, restaurant, cafe, clothing store, black bookstore, get ready for it because it's coming. I wasn't shocked. That's the unfortunate part. Isn't that crazy? I wasn't shocked. But I said to myself, instead of him turning me into the old me, I said, you know what? Let me take a picture of the car, the license plate, him. Turns out he works for the city. You like that? Is that crazy? That's crazy, right? He works for the city. And he's like, F you, N-word. And I said, no, I'm a cool, like Fonzie. I'm a cool. And I just called the place where he works. And I gave him the entire story, play by play. Please, black folks, get yourself prepared. Because this is a war. We're at war right now in our own country.
Well, I understand what you're saying, Jake, but hey, to be prepared is knowing that strong tower is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I mean, without that, you're going to be subject to all kind of madness that's going to go out here in Babylon. You know? That's the main thing you got to understand. You got to have that name, that strong tower where we go to and we're safe. And that's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know? We just got to understand that the times we're at the end. So, you know, I'm not surprised about what's going on here.
With other Americans. The unfortunate part is they don't look like us. And these are the same people, or should I say, not the same people, but the same race that enslaved us. So understand something. And I hate that I have to say this, but it's not all. All of the folks that are on their own bubble of whiteness aren't like this. You know why I know? Because 92% of the people that come to my restaurant don't look like me. 92%. So I know it can't be all. But remember who voted for that fuck. Remember who voted for him, okay? A lot of them. Please. I'm just taking a break with this classical music because it's calming me down. It's getting me to a Zen mode, you know?
See, Jake, you got to understand, you know, it's still perpetual hatred is still there. It's not one good Edomite out there, you know? And we still under the curses.
I'm just feeling it right now. Protect yourself, black folks. I'm Chef Brian from Chef Brian's Comfort Kitchen. You will not stand on my shoulders. You will not stand on my fucking shoulders and call yourself tall. You won't. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. Because you know why? I have the will to survive. I have the fucking heart of a fucking lion. You're not gonna stop me. I don't give a fuck what you think or who you think you are. You ain't gonna fucking stop me. You will not stop me. Do you understand me? Are you listening to me? You will not fucking stop me. And I mean this. And I'm saying this right now because I need black folks to wake the fuck up. Wake up. There's a fucking war going on right now. See, understand?
Well, I can say one thing, Jake. You know, you're right. It definitely is. It's going to be a war out here, Jake. But you got to understand, still under the curses, and that perpetual hatred is still alive in effect in 2026. I'm going to start right here. Amos 6:1. Woe to them that are in eastern Zion and trust in the mountains of Samaria, with your name, chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. You can't be in the east in Babylon. You know, this is our hell right here that we in. You know, we in the bottom of society, man. You know, we all know that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. So we already know. We can't be in ease in Babylon, man. That's why it's so important to get in these scriptures, man. This living water where you never get thirsty. You're gonna keep being hydrated, man. In these scriptures, man. These living waters. Knowing that the times we're in, it's gonna give you stability to understand what's going on. And you got to have that strong tower, that name, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And like I say, these scriptures, they quench all of your thirst. You know, these living waters are real. You know, and right here, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart from this is not your rest, because it's polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Yeah, and this ain't our rest here in Babylon the Great. Babylon, the circle of the drain, it's about over. This all gonna be over soon, very soon. And you see Jake, he's very emotional. But Jake, you get in these scriptures, you're gonna understand that we about at the end. And these scriptures gonna build you up. And yeah, we see that you're strong. But like I say, you still got to have that name, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to have that hedge of protection. Because it's the hell gonna break loose out here in a minute. And it's only a matter of time now. Everything is leading up to the charagma, and everything is lining up beautiful. So these prophecies are moving right along beautifully. And we can see it won't be long. It won't be long now. But hey, like I say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to wipe all the tears off our people. We going to have it where we're going to be running everything. Like the scriptures say, when the righteous in the rulership, the people rejoice. And when the wicked is in rulership, the people mourn. So, like I say, it's coming to an end. But like I say, the most important thing is having that name, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, that strong tower. Because you're going to need that when things go hell and break out and everything else. When these race wars, gender wars, and everything else break out, you're going to need that covering to protect you, your family, or whatever it may be. But hey, it's coming to an end. But like I say, we all have to stay strong, but you have to get in these scriptures and know the strong tower and learn these scriptures before it's too late. We're on the highways and hedges. It's time sensitive. It's about over. And we got to always know this right here, Ephesians 5:15, that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. And redeeming the time because the days are evil. We're in some evil times right now, because it's coming to an end. But you got to have that hedge of protection of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and not calling on them other false gods, because they're not going to help you in that time of judgment. You have to use that. You have to use that proper name, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to navigate you through these very difficult times that's coming here in Babylon the Great. But I hope this is edifying to hope for sheep and lamb, corn, Yasharallah. We call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. On to the next lesson. Shalom.